This video is for demonstrational purposes only. If you decide to do the modifications that I show in this video, I am not liable for anything that happens to your figure. Thank you. Hey everyone, just a heads up. If you do plan on doing this mod, or if you guys have any idea, I just please highly recommend to watch the whole video before you do anything, okay? Just to make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. So again, make sure you watch the whole video to make sure you know you want to go through with this mod, because I don't want you guys going halfway through and you're like, oh shoot, I don't want to do this no more. So again, watch the whole video before you do it, and then if you want to do it, then go ahead guys. So have fun. Yo, what's going on everyone? It's Surrounding 951, and I am here today to show you one way that you could super improve your Xamel. So what we're going to be dealing with today is basically mobility and, you know, kind of getting your Xamel less stiff and kind of being able to make it more flexible. So the tools that you're going to need for today, I'll recommend some sort of power drill, or I guess you could use a Dremel, it's called. But in my instance, I have a power drill. So you're going to need a power drill. Obviously, mine doesn't have the battery because I already did the mod, but you'll see. You're going to need a power drill. You're going to need some drill bits. And these drill bits are extremely cheap. You could just go to your local 99-cent store, possibly Dollar Tree, whatever, Dollar General, or whatever you have around in your area, or online, and get the drill bit set for $1. They're gonna be they're kind of cheap quality, but you're not going to need them for anything still. So you know, working with MSIA plastic or just plastic in general was not gonna wear them down. So like I said, you're going to need this drill bit set, and it's going to be $1. You could get $1. You could get it for $1 at the 99-cent store or your local dollar store. You're going to need a cutter. I recommend a heavier duty one. I mean, you could use this one, like a thin one, but for easier time, I recommend like a heavy duty one. And let me show you what I mean. Like a bigger one. And one like this one's pretty heavy duty. See, the blade's a lot longer, and it's easier to push down with force because you have this little protector here. And if you have a skinny one like this, you're going to be pushing it down, and it might not cut right, and you're going to have to use your finger on the metal, and you could accidentally cut yourself by slicing through your skin. I did use this one for the modification, but I don't recommend using that one. I recommend getting one like this. And you can also pick this up at your local dollar store. I picked this up at my local 99-cent store for $1. And just to show you, actually comes with extra blades. They're in here. So yeah, it's not bad for $1 if you ask me. So again, you're going to need a safety blade or a box cutter basically. And last but not least, you're going to need some sort of prying tool, and I'll tell you what this will be used for. But yeah, so you're going to need basically around all that to get this modification, you know, done. Alright, so you're also going to need your own Xamel, of course, and that's probably why you're watching this video. So let's get this going. So basically what you're going to want to do first is detach the back from the Xamel, this little gun. So I'll do that real quick. Now give me a second, I'm going to get like a little stand sorta so I could kind of walk you guys through it while while still showing the video, I guess. So I'm gonna just use this cup for now. Kind of won't work that well, but it'll work somewhat. So what you want to do first is remove this from the bag, and the way I remove it, you know, you just lift it up and it slides off. You don't pull it, you lift it up and it just slides out easily. For some people who aren't too familiar with the Xamel. So now that you've done that, the next step, which is probably the hardest step in this modification, and if you guys are really adamant about doing this, you guys gotta be for it, because from this point on is where it gets really risky and it could get ugly. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to separate the Xamel, the top, from the bottom. You know what? Before I go any further, let me just show you what exactly is going to happen with this mod. So if you do this mod, Let's see here. If you do this mod, basically the point of this mod is to make your Xamel extra flexible. So when this mod's done, you're going to be able to have a Xamel that's able to do 360 on the waist. And if you have your own Xamel, you know that the Xamel cannot do any of this because of certain limitations due to its cables and some other stuff that I'll be telling you about. But yeah, so basically, if you want to continue with this mod, the whole point of it is that you'll get the extra flexibility in the upper torso, and it'll be a lot cooler, and it'll make your Xamel a lot less stiff than it is. Alright, so if you guys are still with me and you really want to go through with this mod, like I said, what you're going to have to do, well, first what you're going to have to do is actually, there's 2 cables on the Xamel. Let me just show you that. On my Xamel, I already took them off. Well, I didn't take them off, but I kind of snapped them off. So basically, there's supposed to be cables that run up here to the waist. You can see there's supposed to be one right there and one right there. And what I did, the cables aren't like the Zaku 2 or Zaku 2 cables where they just pop off. You can pop them back on. I believe these ones are actually super glued in. So you're going to actually have to like kind of snap them off. You don't have to snap the whole cable off, just the front part right here. Or if you want to, I believe you could even snap this part off. But it looked kind of goofy, I think so. Basically, what you gotta do is you want to snap the cable off right here, and what I did, I can't really remember, but I was basically just pulling it out, and eventually just kind of snapped, and you won't have any cable there. So that's gonna be the first step. So like again, you want to get rid of these cables, and after this is where it gets really tough, and you want to be very careful. So if you're really extremely strong, if you're able to do this, what you want to do is you're going to want to separate. You're going to want to separate the top of the Xamel from the bottom. By doing that, let me put this back on the stand. By doing that, you're going to have to be able to have enough strength to pull this guy apart. And right now it's going to look super easy because I did a modification to make this easier. But you're going to want to pull them apart and that. Now, what I just showed you again, that's not going to be as easy as I just showed you because I did a modification to where if I ever need to take the Xamel from the joint off, it would be extremely easy for me. But in this case, it probably won't be easy for you. So what's going to happen is if you can do it like that, that's great. Then there's going to be nothing really to worry about. Problem is trying to get this guy off is extremely hard because let me show you. I'll show you why it's so hard to do it because I didn't know how big this joint was until I actually took it off. So give me a second. I'm going to take the skirt armor off. Yeah, this is putting up quite a fight. So basically, if we keep going. Oh, shit. Alright, so now this is what you're dealing with. You're dealing with this long of a freaking joint. And that thing is way in there. It's like, it's basically all the way in there, so it's going to go like that. So it's going to be, you're going to have quite a tough time taking it off. And that's why I recommend a pry tool. Now you want to be very careful because, the metal could definitely damage the plastic. The MSIA plastic. So that's the reason why I say you guys got to be very careful if you do plan on going through with this mod. Because, excuse me, I did scratch up the skirt quite a bit right here, but once I got it repainted, you can't really tell. But I basically, I had to go, sorry guys, I had to go from here, and I was just like, I put the pry tool under, and I was just prying up, and it takes more than just the prying. I actually had to get another flathead and prying both up, and finally just popped off. And what could happen is your plastic at your joint can actually bend, and that's what happened to this. It's kind of it's supposed to be more straight, and this part's actually kind of bent. Can't really see it now, but this part right here is kind of going up a little bit more than it should be. So you want to be very careful because if you bend this thing too much, this could break, and this is more of a hard plastic than it is the soft, durable MSIA plastic. So be very careful because finding another one of these is going to be near impossible. So, like I said, I would just say pry up, and then kind of you want to put at least both pry tools in between, and then push them up and just kind of work it off until it gets off. Yeah, you guys will get it. You know, you'll experiment with it with the pry tools and see how it is. So once you've got that far and getting this off, of course you're gonna want to take off the skirt's gonna be on there first. You're gonna want to wiggle off the skirt, and you could wiggle off this part as well. So once you get to that part, you're going to be left with this, of course. And the main thing behind this mod is modifying the skirt. So you can see right here, I actually did some cutting. There's little marks from my what you call it? There's little marks from my safety blade. So once you get to this part, you want to be just as careful too, because if you cut too much of this plastic lip that goes around the skirt, see this little lip? If you cut too much, you're going to end up ruining the skirt and it won't stay on there. So you want to be careful how much you cut, because right here I was getting really close and I almost ruined the skirt armor, so I had to be very careful. What you want to do is you want to shave as much off as you can, because when you do that, it allows the Xamel to turn. And if you notice, once you have your cables busted, the Xamel doesn't turn very well, and this plastic lip actually kind of messes up this plastic right here, and it makes this plastic on the Xamel's waist actually protrude out and bend, and it makes it real ugly. So like I said, what you want to do next is get your box cutter. You want to carefully trim off this skirt lip until you know, basically you get your desired results, and that the skirt lip isn't interfering with the Xamel's plastic right here, and that the turning smooth. You know, there's no bumps or anything in the way, making the turning smooth. I mean, making the turning, you know, rough. So again, you want to cut this lip until you get to the desired, you know, the desired thing you want for the turning. And again, be very careful, because if you cut too much, you can ruin the lip on this, and this thing will not be able to go through the joint and be like how it was before. Alright, so now you used 2 out of your 3 tools. You used your box cutter, or you use your pry tools. So now that you've done that with the skirt, we're ready to move on to, I think, the last part of the mod. The last part of the mod is basically getting your drill bits and drilling the hole right here. So as you can see, there's already a hole right here, but what you want to do is actually widen it up, because when you widen the hole up, or not widen it up, but there's little ripples inside this hole, and what the ripples do is they catch onto this joint right here, and when it catches onto the joint, it makes it really tough. Well, it's supposed to be like that, but it makes the fit really tight, and it basically locks it in there. And that's what makes it so hard to detach it. I mean, it's so far deep in the hole, and also that the little grooves lock in with this, and it keeps it really tough to get out. So what you want to do is get your drill bits and your power drill, of course, power drill. And what I did, I could tell you measurements, but what I did is basically I started off with this is, I believe this is a 4-inch. It says 4 up here. Or not even 4-inch, my bad. See, that's why I don't want to really do it with the measurements. But there's like a little 4 up here. Basically, what I did was I just found the drill bit that was closest to how this was, and then when it was kind of snug in there, I would use the drill bit, and I'll connect with the power drill and then drill. And you want to keep drilling until you know, the ripples kind of start going away. And then once you've drilled that, you want to try to see if you can find a bigger drill bit. Not too big, because you don't want to like make the hole bigger than it is. You just want to try to get those ripples out of the way. And then from there, I went on to the one that says 4.5. I'm guessing this is 4.5. I don't know, centimeters. Not even centimeters. I don't know what it is. And you want to put, this one was a bit bigger, but it did fit in. And like I said, you don't want to make the hole bigger. You just want to get rid of those ripples, because those ripples are going to make it really tough to get the figure off and on out of that joint. And then, you know, just going to keep doing that until you see that the ripples are kind of gone. Not completely gone, but mostly gone. And what this allows, again, is to take the figure off easily without any problems. If you ever need to do future modding to the skirt, or whatever else you need to do, like for painting or something. So once you've done that, made the hole bigger, once you made your cuts on the skirt lip, you're basically done. So what you want to do is put this part back on. And what I do is I just keep the cables under the skirt, so I'll show you what I mean by that right now. So put that on, just push that in there, and then I just keep the cables like this, and I put the skirt over the cables, so it's all good. Again, you put the skirt back on, make sure everything's all dandy and sweet. Kind of just fix it, make sure everything's good, and from there, all you gotta do is put your Xamel back together. And that's what I'm gonna do right now. So give me a second, because it's still kind of tough to put them back together. I mean, not that tough, but I use some. It takes a bit of brute force to put them back in the joint and make sure the joint isn't loose or anything. So once you've done that, and if you've done everything right, you should have a mod Xamel, and he should have the best mobility he's had in a while. So if you've done everything right, now you should have a Xamel that's able to do 360s on the waist. And for me, I think this is a huge improvement for the Xamel, because for me, I feel like the Xamel is just a big, bulky figure, and he doesn't move at all. I mean, he looks extremely cool and all that, and I guess it goes with him looking and being like a tank. But Xamel's a bit more than that, and I feel like this opens up a lot more stuff to do with him, and he could be more of like a ground unit. He could be looking around while on the ground and shooting and stuff. So I think this helps the Xamel quite a bit, honestly, in my opinion. Yeah, so it's a pretty the mod itself's not too complicated, but it does take a bit of time, especially when trying to pry off the Xamel. I think that's probably the hardest and scariest part, because if you guys aren't comfortable about ripping apart, well, not ripping apart, but like taking it off, it's a bit of a risky move. But all I gotta say is good luck, guys. Just be very careful. I mean, you don't want to be like freaking destroying it. You guys will get it. If the joint bends a little bit, it's okay. Like when you put it back like together, it's not really going to affect it much. But just be very careful, because like I said, that joint is hard plastic, and it is prone to snapping if you put too much stress under it. So just be very careful, guys. Same with the skirt armor. When you're cutting that skirt lip, be very careful too, because if you cut too much off of it, you could ruin the whole skirt, and your Xamel's going to be running around with no skirt, which sounds kind of funny. Yeah, guys, freaking 360 Xamel. So I hope this video was pretty helpful. I really wanted to share this because I thought this was a big improvement for the Xamel, because he's not much of a mobility guy. I mean, he does move, but he doesn't move on the waist at all, basically. So again, guys, thanks for watching. I hope this helped a lot. I hope to see you on my next video. Until then, peace.